Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Jamar here once again. What's going on YouTube? What's this your boy once again, Jamar84, and we are here. Now y'all know I may have not been as the most consistent on YouTube lately, but y'all know I was not gonna let a season of American Horror Story pass me by without us talking about it. Okay, now, before I preface this video by saying this, I want to do the whole season. However, y'all know how some of these shows are when it comes to trying to watch them online, because I don't have cable anymore. So I'm gonna need y'all help. Y'all gotta help me help you. If you know of a reliable site that I can count on to post the episodes either that same night or early the next day, so the earlier that they post it, the earlier I can watch it, and the earlier I can record the video for it. So if you are a fan of the show, if you're a subscriber of mine, and you want us to sit here and have us the kiki and the cackle about this crap, go ahead, leave down in the comments below ways of how I can watch it all throughout the season. And yeah, we can talk about it. And actually, I'm going to throw this in here too. I just started watching Insecure Season 1, and I can't seem to find the rest of the season anywhere. So if you can help me with that too. Starting the next season, Season 3, because you know it's renewed, we can talk about that too. I'm just going to say, just put it out there. Just give me the link, and we can talk about that too. Anyways, we're here for American Horror Story Cult. Now, Roanoke was, I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I think it was one of the better seasons. So I'm hoping that this one falls in the same category. Now, when they was talking about, you know, the early stages of it, and, you know, information coming out, when they said it was going to be having to do with the election, I was like, ooh, this could be good. Because, I mean, truly, we're living in an American Horror Story with this White House cabinet. I'm just saying, that's true tea. That's not even like a political view. That's fact. Look what this man has done. Even you, as a Republican, has to acknowledge this foolishness. But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's not what we're here to talk about. I'm actually shocked that they would use the actual entities of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in the actual episode. I thought they were going to like make up a fictional character as the president to sort of, you know, portray him as this fictional person. But no, they just said, we're going to go balls to the wall. We're just going to call it what it is. That a true life American Horror Story. So we start off, everybody's watching the election as the final rolls, as the final, numbers come in. And was I the only one watching this and was triggered a little bit of going back to that night or early morning, whichever, when you found out that one, like, I was starting to refeel all those things over again, just like, oh no, oh my Lord Jesus. So, Sarah Paulson's character, whose name we learn is Allie, I'm going to try to remember these people's name this time. She's freaking out. She's basically us. She's basically us. Like, I can't believe this is happening. You know, I don't believe it until Rachel Maddow says it. And all these votes are coming in. And then you got Evan Peters. I don't know if they said his name yet or not. If they did, I don't recall. But he's the one with the blue hair. I'm not sure, honestly. Because something about that kind of threw me. He was happy that Trump won, but I don't believe that he was necessarily a supporter of Trump and his values. It seems like his character is in support of just chaos, disarray, and just promoting fear amongst people. And he knows that Donald Trump basically is the head of all of that. So he's happy, but I don't think for the reasons that we thought he would be. Excuse me. I just hate some sandwiches. Sorry. So homegirl, we learn, is in a same-sex relationship with a woman. She has a son, and she they were all, I guess, at their neighbor's house across the street. Who I think they're like were they an Asian couple? I think or maybe the man was just Asian. I couldn't really tell, but they're all watching the results come in together, and he's pissed off because of course we just figured out that Donald Trump won, and then he looks at his wife and was like, "This is partially your fault because I think they figured out that he won in their home state, which I want to say they were in Michigan. I think he said he was in Michigan, so I would say shout out to y'all, but." Michigan became a red state this past election, so I'm disassociating myself with my home state right now. Just saying. Just saying. Y'all let me down. Anyways, they're in Michigan, and apparently their town, or they lost, or he won by like 10,000 votes, and he's like, that's basically the size of this whole town. And he looked at his wife and was mad at her because she's one of those people who didn't even vote at all. And she was too busy on like Etsy or Pinterest, whatever he said. And now he's like, "Are you satisfied that now this man could potentially ruin like your best friend's like marriage, or that he could invalidate your best friend's marriage in relation to Allie and her girlfriend, well, her wife, Ivy is her name, and their son or whatever." And it's just like, we're just seeing her just start going crazy. And so we figure out, because the way how to follow this is kind of odd, because they're trying to set up the whole thing, and it's kind of hard to almost piece together stuff without having to be long-winded. Twisted, if you guys saw Freak Show, you remember Twisty the Clown. And I'm just like, I don't want to remember anything related to Freak Show. Okay? Because that was still, in my opinion, the worst season. Just bad. But anyway, we see that the son is like under the covers looking at something. And of course, as a parent, you probably think, oh, it's a young boy. He's probably looking at a, dirty magazine, doing what little boys do. And the mom was like, oh, don't be afraid, a pair of breasts and an erect penis don't hurt nobody or whatever. And she looks at it, and it's the Twisted the Clown. She just drops it and she starts freaking out. Like her like all these phobias of clowns, which I guess we're gonna maybe learn from where that comes from later on. But she just starts going ape shit, like seeing stuff, like she went to the doctor, and I guess the Trump winning has ignited all these inner phobias in between her. I'm like, oh, girl. I'm going to need you to get it together. I'm just saying. I mean, I understand that, none of us, well, I can't say none, because most of us with brains, we're not very excited about the results of the election. So, but she's taking it over the edge. It's like she was getting messed up by everything. So next thing we know, we see a scene where we're out in the meadow, and there's this couple out here doing, what couples do. And I'm like, this looks very familiar. And I'm like, the girl is talking about, wait, I feel like we're being watched or something. And he's like, we probably are, because this is the same spot where Twisty the Clown killed somebody, and this other couple that was out here like 60 years ago, referring to, if y'all saw Freak Show, y'all remember that was one of the few scenes that Twisty the Clown was in where he killed the couple. My thing is, if you knew that, why are you here? Why would you bring your girlfriend, who was supposed to be a loved one, I guess, of yours, to the same spot where an alleged killer clown killed someone? I mean, does that turn you on? Like, do you just not believe do you not believe the story? Like, why even take the chance, though? I was like, why would you be out here if that was the case? If I was the girl, I would have ran. I'm like, nope, no ma'am. We not about to do nothing up out of here. I'm going to get up out of here, right now. Right now. Shoot. Gonna try to get in my jean skirt with a lid in the same spot as somebody that done got axed up and killed. You crazy. But they're both naive and they just want to stick to it. So he just walks up on the couple. I'm like, okay, well, let's get straight to it then. They jump out, they freak out, they scream. The guy pulls out a gun and is like, I will blow you away, and starts shooting. He just like, are you done? None of the bullets phase him, and so he's, the guy is like, oh, I don't know what to do, and he get knocked over the head, so he's knocked out. Homegirl she's bagged up, she's screaming her head off. I'm like, girl, it's your husband, your boyfriend's gone. It's time to let him go. Like, she just sit there. He's over the clown is over the boyfriend, slashes the necks, blood gushes out, and now she decides to finally run. Oh, actually, she hasn't ran yet. She's still there screaming. Then he's like over the guy's body, stab, 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 stab. Now she's run. She had a good, I swear, 5 minutes that she could have already gotten there. Once that clown showed up, I would have tried to grab my nigga hand and be like, let's go. Let's go. We're not about to ask no questions. We're not about to even waste no bullets. Let's go. Okay? Especially if something came 60 years ago, there was an old dead clown and he's just showing up like he never left and he just jumped out of a time capsule from 60 years ago. I don't think so. We're not about to take them chances. I'm just saying. So the girl tries to run away, and I guess in midway she tries to call 911, but yet she hides in the bus, which, why would you hide inside the bus? Because then if he comes in there, how would you get out? Maybe maybe there was a better plan, or maybe I'm missing something, but that didn't seem like the best idea. So apparently she was about to escape. It almost worked. But as the clown was about to leave, apparently she still had her phone on as she tried to dial 911, and was it on speaker too? Like, it was loud. So you could hear them say, 911, what's your emergency, or what's your location, whenever they said, and then he heard it, he was like, oh. And I know she just wanted to shit herself in the she was like, damn it. So, of course, the clown found her and came back and cut her tongue off. And then he tried to say, what's your location? He done took off the mask, so you see his little one dangling tooth, and that tongue like, run. He tried to say wrong number. I was like, oh, wow. And then after that, we pan out to, I guess it's the boy reading a comic. I'm like, what? So apparently it was a story and not real, but I don't believe that because this is American Horror Story and nothing is ever what you think it is. Oh, excuse me. So Evan Peters' character, whose name I do not remember, goes into this courtroom. I guess they're trying to figure out how to handle all the new violence that's happened since that was elected. And he gives some long monologue speech about how what does people or human beings love and value most. You love friends, the family, his loved ones. He's like, it's fear. And he goes on this long tangent about how fear should, we all are scared of everything. We value fear. If you take less cops, if you just have less cops, because then they do whatever they want to do, then they're going to run to us. We don't need to be out there policing them, this, that, and the fourth. Just something that really just sounded crazy. Something that just really sounded crazy. And the people that was the judge, who was actually the same guy that was watching the election night with his wife, he was mad at, said, yeah, we're not doing that. Goodbye. And when he leaves, he mumbled under his breath, he said, there's nothing more dangerous than a humiliated man. I'm like, you're letting somebody with blue out? Yeah, I wouldn't trust him either. I'm just saying. So, let's talk about this. This is, I think, one of my favorite scenes of the episode. Homegirl walks into a grocery store. Now, first of all, something you should have already known something was up. Your antenna should have went up when there was nobody in that mofo. Okay? And if that didn't scare you away, she looks at the teller, it's like, oh, it's a slow night. He's like, yeah, I guess everybody's home uh listening to the president's speech. And then she said, she tried to kind of gauge which side of the fence he fell on. And she was like, can you believe some of the things that he's saying? Like, expecting him to be like, yeah, man, it's crazy. But this man said, yeah, it's finally time we got a real leader in the White House. I was like, eh, eh, eh. And then he put on the hat. I was just like, oh no. Now, I believe I don't think that actor is, an actual supporter. I believe he just did that for the character. I'm sure he probably was vomiting on the inside. I'm sure he's had to be just vomiting on the inside. But she's just like, okay, well, I'm just going to mind my own business because you're of the devil. And I'm just going to keep pushing my cart. So she's going down, whatever, look like the dairy aisle, what have you. It doesn't matter. She looks up into the little reflecting mirror thing. She sees like two clowns, and she starts getting all weird and freaked out. She comes to the produce aisle, and she claims that she sees like a whole bunch of clowns doing it over the aisle, getting pounded by the watermelons. Like, that's what we do now? We get pounded by watermelons now? Okay. So, did my computer just shut? I swear I hate this thing sometimes. Anyways, so she starts seeing them. Then she sees somebody else running around like a little scooter with a knife. She starts throwing, like, okay. Homegirl legitimately started throwing some of the good stuff. She was grabbing bottles of wine and trying to toss it at the clown, missing, of course, because the thing probably isn't even really there. But she's throwing the good stuff. I'm like, wait, we don't waste liquor now. You can throw away bottles of beer, but you ain't throwing away no wine, though. Hey, and beer is cheaper. Well, I guess the bottle was bigger, but still. Anyway, she's running around. She's looking crazy. She's seeing all these weird clowns everywhere. She's like, what do you want? Get away from me, and blah, blah, blah. Just like, oh, girl, here we go. So she runs out to the car, and this is where she also lost me. Because you would think that if you're being chased, if your adrenaline is rushing, that when you get back to your vehicle, even if you're going to try to call someone, I feel like the first thing you would think to do is to go in reverse and actually start leaving. She stood there in the car waiting to dial the number to her wife, and of course the wife don't know what's going on. And in the meantime, there's a clown allegedly, there's a clown in the back of the damn car, and he jumps forward, so she gets scared, freaked out. She goes in drive, and first right into the pole, and now the balloon blew up. And I'm just like, oh, bitch. And her wife, at least for the time being, is just showing like so much patience, so much gratitude. And I watched Much Love's video, and she kind of feels like it's potential that the wife has something to do with it. I don't put nothing past anybody when it comes to American Horror Story, but it would make sense. So I can't count nobody out, but she feels like she may have something, to do with this shit. So now we move ahead to homegirl. Allie and Ivy are trying to put up an ad to have a babysitter. Okay. Now, of course, they want somebody open-minded. They want somebody who's okay with being to two same-sex household with the active 10-year-old boy, must have valid driver's license, must be energetic, honest, all those redeeming qualities. We see Homegirl from the beginning of the episode who was talking about now that Donald Trump has won, she's about to cut herself. And apparently, it looks to be like not only is like the guy with the blue hair, Evan Peters' character, is her brother, but it also seems like there's something tells me that they're twins. Because they kind of look like they're in the same age. And then it's like at the same time that she was being interviewed to be this nanny, they were doing like some Wonder Twins power activate nonsense with their pinky fingers. And he was asking her all kind of questions like, what scares you the most, or what do you hate the most? And she started talking about children. In response to answers that the couple was asking, and she started saying something about he was asking her like what hurt you the most, and she talked about some dude that she tried anal with. I was like, whoa, we really gonna go there? All right, let's do it. Then later on, she's like, what was the most pleasure? And she said, the anal. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. These people are crazy. And he said, who are you most afraid of? She said, him. So I'm like, I feel like she's going to play an integral part. And when I was watching Much Love's video, she also said that Ivy, the wife, is playing some kind of part. Because this is like, she's almost too innocent. Like, she's just so caring, so loving. There's nobody in these American Horror Stories that's just innocent completely. We know. So we'll see what part that she's gonna play. But apparently they like her. They're gonna have her, and she's gonna be the one that's doing this babysitting. Now, the next thing we see is a group of Hispanic men who, are all together. They're out at night. They're, maybe they're coming off of work, what have you. We don't know where they're coming from, but they're gathered together outside by this truck, talking or whatever. And all of a sudden, the guy, Evan Peters' character with the blue hair, just starts loudly singing like La Cucaracha to be, of course, stereotypically offensive to the Hispanic culture as being like the one song that I guess Americans know. And he just pulls his little wiener out, pees into a condom, ties it up in a nice tight wrap, and then throws the condom of piss at the Mexicans and calls them wetbacks. I want to know, are they going to try... I doubt that. I don't think American Horror Story would push it this far. I want to see, are they going to try to slide the N-word in here? Because they already called these Mexicans wetbacks. That's bad enough. Are they going to try to slide the N-word in here? I'm very curious. Tread light. This is real. This is real life. But, I'm just saying. But anyways, at the same time, of course, the Mexicans come and they jump him and they beat the hell out of him. Of course they do. Of course they do. But you see somebody on the sidelines like recording, and you know that they're probably going to skew it and make the agenda seem like, this group of Mexicans just randomly jump this one white guy and like he was like unprovoked. And I'm like, okay, I see. You can see what they're doing, and I bet that was the sister that was holding that camera. I bet you it was. Who else does he know that would do that for him? I'm just saying. So we get back to the restaurant with Ivy and Allie, and they're trying to mend fences because she keeps saying all these crazy stories and nobody's believing her. And it's just, you can tell it's kind of getting on Ivy's nerves. Like, she's trying to be the one to be, in your corner. But it's just like, girl, you're seeing all this crazy stuff and all these police are getting involved and it's just a mess. So, when she leaves, she opens up her dish or tray, whatever. And it got like all these holes in it. Mind you, she was scared from earlier in her what is it, her therapy session, and she was like, can you move the coral because something about the holes makes me nervous. I'm like, I feel like she has an affliction of beehives, and that's probably the whole bee maybe concept. I don't know. We'll find out, Chad. I'm trying to figure out what these bees have to do. I mean, I know, cult queen leader, whatever, but I don't know. I'm waiting for something to show me what's this about. But her whole thing is full of holes and is bleeding blood. She's freaking out. Then she looks up and there's like a clown in the corner going ham, and he's going in. I'm like, dang, like, is it that serious? So of course she's freaking out and she's yelling for Ivy. She's like, where are you? And he's like, there's a clown in here. There's a clown. She's running all over the place. And she's like, I know he was here. I just saw him with my own eyes. And Ivy's like, I was just in that room. There's nobody in there. And so she's feeling like she's going insane. She's like, are you taking your medication? She said, no. I'm like, oh my Lord, just bless the children. Speaking of children, homegirl who's doing the babysitting asks the 10-year-old boy if he's ever seen a dead body. He says no. So she decides to let this 10-year-old boy watch these online who knows what videos of people getting stabbed in the neck, just all these horrific things that could potentially scar a child, but nothing that a child should be exposed to at this age, basically. And she's just showing him like a marathon of online videos. But in the midst of that, he looks outside and sees an ice cream truck. And it's like, why is the ice cream truck here in the middle of the night? But okay. And then those same clowns that homegirl was seeing at the grocery store hop out the ice cream truck. So I'm like, okay, now wait. Are the clowns real or not? Because if the boy's seeing it, is he crazy too? But then again, what happens next kind of proves not to be the case, because we see that they end up going outside. He go finds the babysitter. They go outside and try to figure out what's going on. They see that the clowns done went and got into the I forget their name, but they were like the Chains or the something. That judge that was telling that boy, like, we're not about to do your ideas, and the guy that was in the beginning yelling at his wife about not voting. The clowns that went to his place and just sliced and diced him up. Like, he got chop suey, basically. And then, of course, they killed the wife, and we didn't see what they really did to her, I don't think. But he's seeing the clowns, and they run back, and when the police arrive, it's about the same time that Allie and Ivy get back, and she's like, where's my son? Where's my son? And he gets back, and he tells them the whole story. And, of course, she's freaking out because it has to do with clowns, but the babysitter's like, none of that happened. Like, literally, we just came out here when y'all got here. And so I'm like, so is the boy crazy too? But then again, the Chains are really dead. And the guy, the editor tries to ask the officer, like, what happened here? What happened? And he said, well, it's like a murder-suicide. I'm like, what in the world is going what in the world is going on here? Like, they're leaving so many things open to interpretation as to what the heck is going on. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. But thank y'all so much for watching, discussing. Let me know what you think, what's going on in the comments below. And remember, leave links or ways you know that I can continue to watch this show through the season so that I can continue to come with the reviews. All right? I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being patient with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Like, comment, and subscribe, bitches. I'm just saying.
Like, share, subscribe.